Welcome, guys. So with me tonight, I've got Bryan and Hannah, and they're going through one of the K7 programs, and we're going to hear from them firsthand results on what their experience is during this. So, guys, I'm going to sit back, and if you can kind of start off on how long you've been on the program, inches lost, weight loss, energy, just kind of go at it, and we'll organically ask some questions here.
So when this first was sent in an email to us, because I work at an Anytime Fitness, I basically told Bryan, hey, I'm going to do this challenge because I need to follow suit. And if I'm going to do this challenge, I'm going to be able to get my members to do it. I want to know what they're experiencing. So I'm going to do this as well. And I want you to do it with me.
So what I'm hearing you say is your incentive was, if I'm gonna guide or ask somebody to do a transformation program, I want to know what they're about to experience first.
Exactly. Like, practice what you preach. If I'm going to go through it, I'm going to see the results, then there's going to be somebody else. I know what they are going through, and I'm going to be there to support them and guide them through it.
And in case anybody missed it, I want to mention again that you're a manager at a fitness club, correct?
Correct.
So, a general manager of an Anytime Fitness in Ohio. Awesome.
Yes.
So what did you experience once you started?
So when we started, we're good with going to the gym. We're good with working out, but it's always our diets. We eat somewhat healthy for the most part, but portions are just not a thing for us. If it's something like, we're going to eat it until we can't eat it anymore. So having the transformation challenge to follow along with, and having the meal plans, and having you there for that in the beginning, I was super excited about it because that's the one thing that I knew that we were lacking. And so going through and following the recipes, and I bought a food scale so that we could actually measure out what we needed to. Like, never thought that I'd be the person that's going to measure out my foods, but in the long run, like, I think that it's helped tremendously in following along with the program.
So looking back, because some of us can be intimidated with having to do a food scale, do you think that you had to do the food scale? Did you need to be that precise? Or the experience that there's room for a pinch of this or a pinch of that?
Yeah, so I'm a rule follower. So if I get a list and I see the number of the suggested serving size, I take it upon myself that to get best results, I want to do exactly what is recommended for me, because if I'm going to do it, I want to do it right, and I want to do it correctly the first time.
So true. Good. So go ahead and share. How long have you been doing the program now?
So we started the challenge June. The beginning of June is
June
whenever
8th?
it started. June 8th was the day that I took my before pictures. So
we just started in this program. We started 6 weeks. So you have 5 complete weeks on this program.
Yes.
Go ahead and share what have you experienced. Let's hear some inches, some weight, and then energy. Anything else that you want to share?
The first 6 days were probably the roughest, because we've tried diets and we've tried to follow things before, and it's always kind of been like, we'll try this, dabble in that. And this was so easy to follow, and it was easy to hold yourself accountable because you could see the inches, you could see the weight coming off. So I'm down 8 pounds, 10.5 inches since we've started, and I actually have more energy. So years and years ago, I used to fight and cut weight and things like that, and I remember walking into weigh-ins just drained. I had no energy. I was just depleted, and I'm roughly the same weight I was then that I am now, but my energy levels are just through the roof. I'm eating more. I'm eating healthy. I mean, the results speak for themselves. I feel better. I feel healthier than I ever have.
That's awesome. Awesome. So what I'm hearing you say is that you're actually eating more than you were 5 weeks ago.
Correct.
Your weight is down. Your inches are down.
Yep.
Would you, Hannah, I'm going to ask this to Hannah. Would you say he appears more muscular or less muscular?
He looks good. He looks really good. He's definitely.
I'm going to superimpose a picture here of his before and after, which that's a great way to answer it.
Doing the before and afters for him, like just getting his progress. I think that I speak for most women whenever I'm the one that has been doing all of the meal prep. I've been putting in the work for this. He gets to eat all of the delicious food and continue doing what he's doing. And he's over here looking like Captain America. But awesome. I have seen progress as well. Mine was a little bit slower, which I think that women can relate to as well. But I got to a point where I dropped 8 pounds. I was feeling great. I was like, okay, I got this. But then I was there for an entire week and I wasn't going anywhere. I was doing the exact same things at the gym. I was eating the same things that I had been before. It was my lady time. I can't use that as an excuse, but there is a point where you have to try to change a little bit. So I upped a little bit of my cardio and started making sure that I was drinking the entire gallon of water. And there was a couple times that I didn't do like the last meal just because it was so late. And that's one of my problems is I don't wake up as early as like the schedule probably allows us to, because I don't have to be into work until 10 o'clock. So I'm eating my first meal at like maybe 9, and I'm not wanting to eat at 9 o'clock again at night because it's now 10 o'clock at night when I'm going to sleep and I just ate an hour beforehand.
Got it. So what Hannah's talking about is there's time sequence from the time that we wake up until the time that we go to sleep that increases our metabolism, the oxidizing of the fat that keeps the blood sugar level, that regulates the hunger hormone. So there's multiple variables built into it, including water, as she had just mentioned. And Hannah, I want to go back to where you said that you stayed at 8 pounds. How far along in the program was that?
That was, honestly, I think that I dropped down to 6 pounds within the first 6 days.
So I'll stop there. So a lot of us to drop 8 pounds, it's going to take us about 10 weeks when we're on a diligent program. So when she's saying that she's stuck at 8 pounds, that's within the second week. So I want to bring awareness into that. So
yes.
Awesome.
So after the 8 pounds, I was just kind of stagnant, and then out of nowhere, I wake up and I'm down like more, and I'm at a total of down 12 pounds now.
Congratulations.
And, thank you. I really wanted to reach 10, and I finally had gotten to 10, and I was like, okay, I can be happy with this. But then the next day, I was at 12, and I was like, okay, I'm not done. I want more.
So 12 pounds, and you just completed week 5. This is where we're at time-wise here. It's awesome.
Yep. I am down a total of 13 inches, primarily in my waist, stomach, and hips is where I've lost all, but that's basically target areas that I wanted to focus on anyways, so that comes up to that.
Awesome. So Bryan was talking about his energy being higher, and then he was comparing that also. He used to be a fighter. It was cage fighting that you did, correct?
Correct. Yep.
He was a cage fighter, and a lot of the fighters, they will cut weight to fight at a certain weight class, but he's able to be as lean, if not leaner, from looking at the pictures with the energy high. What have you noticed with your energy? Would you say, what would you say?
So as you know, I complained a little bit within like my first couple of days because I had been dependent on like pre-workouts and drinking coffee as like my routine. He went straight back to pre-workout after like the second day.
As soon as I got the green light. as soon I took the day off and she spoke with you and got the okay. I'm like, okay, I can do this. Like,
but he wasn't trying to lose weight, so it made sense. Like, go ahead. I cut it out completely.
The first 6 days with the we were working on the gut inflammation and then regulating the blood sugar were the hardest ones for me just because I have such a sweet tooth. And the energy level was kind of down, but day 7 and the rest of the way through, I mean, I work nights. I work 5P to 5A, and I get home in the mornings. I still have the energy. Like after working 12 hours in a factory, like I still have the energy to go, and my sleep is actually better. So I get to sleep around 6. I'm back up at 1, and I start the whole thing over, and I'm still burning energy from the day before. Whereas 6 weeks ago, prior to starting this, I'd get home and I was sluggish. I'd wake up, I was sluggish. And just everything feels like it's firing on all cylinders now.
Workout.
That's awesome. Awesome.
But yeah, I did find my energy again. After, it was probably the 4th day. Those first 4 days, I worked out once and I wasn't feeling it. And I told myself, I'm going to get through these 3 days. I'll get to my next stage, revisit, see how I feel. And I had some of the best workouts I had for like months without any type of caffeine at all. I wasn't drinking my BCA aminos. I wasn't drinking any type of caffeine as far as pre-workout or coffee goes. Now I'm back to, if I don't drink coffee in the morning, which I followed your recommendation of just Kerrygold, and sometimes I'll do like a honey. So I'm kind of still following our meal plan. And if I don't drink the coffee, I'll do a pre-workout before I work out, which I work until 7 o'clock at night. So I'll do the pre-workout and then do that. Or if I drink the coffee, I don't need it. Honestly, I don't need it either way. I just enjoy the way that it tastes.
And that's fine.
And
there's a time for that within the sequence as you've experienced and you've gotten to that, which is phenomenal.
Yeah.
So my next question is, would you recommend this to her watching or him watching, and why?
I've actually recommended this to numerous people, even people that don't ask. Like, it'll just pop up in casual conversation, and I'll just start running with it, like, oh, you should look into this. Like, here's what I've done, here's what I've experienced, and I just start trying to build a rapport because, like I said, I work in a factory, so a majority of the people that are there need some type of guidance. They won't do it in a group atmosphere, but the one-on-one, they will kind of start trying to pick your brain, and it's just an easy thing to pitch to somebody because health is something that's important. It is something that people should take serious, and you're never too late in life to start. And so a lot of the guys that I work with are older than me, and they're like, I have kids, I have grandkids, and I recommend it to them. If you're not going to do it for yourself, do it for them. Look at your family and go from that. So this is a very easy thing that I would recommend to more people than I already have.
Those are great points. Good points. Yeah, we're not going to do it for ourselves. Let's think about why we would do it, and that's being with family. Good points.
And yes, I have recommended it to a lot of people already. I have a list that I've started in my phone of people that have reached out to me and asked me what I've been doing because they notice my progress. I'll post on social media and update on where I'm at or some of the recipes that I'm doing. And I've sparked so much interest in this because I believe in it and I've been through it and I see the progress and they want to see it as well. So I have that list ready.
For you, Hannah, because you're in a unique situation. You live in the environment of fitness. So you live where I would normally go, where Bryan would go, or her that's watching right now on, we're using these machines, we're doing these classes to increase our energy, to have that transformation. So how is this different, or how does this accelerate me going to your gym?
So if you're just going to the gym, I'll use Bryan as an example. He will go to the gym every single day of the week, exhaust himself, be there, put in all of the effort, but he's putting all of his effort into just working out, and he's not focusing on what he puts into his body, just what his body is supposed to look like. If you're going to focus on what you're putting into your body with focusing on building muscles and doing your cardio and whatever you want to do in the gym, you're going to see the progress. You're not going to see one if you don't do the other.
I like how you state that, focusing on what we're putting into the body so we can actually build what we want to when we go into the gyms. Definitely like that.
I mean, how many times have you heard that it's 80-20? Like, people would assume that the 80% of it is you putting the effort in of working out, but no, it's what you're putting into your body is how your body is going to react to everything else. If you're not treating it well and you're not giving it what it needs, you're not going to get the result.
And this is why I love having you guys on here. You're both, in my opinion, I'd say you're fitness experts. You've done fitness for a long amount of time. You do it professionally. And per your experience, would you say that you've accelerated your results even when you know more than the general average on what to do fitness-wise and nutrition-wise?
Oh, most definitely. And we're kind of in a unique situation as well because we're coming into this challenge outside of a quarantine shutdown. And we did not have access to the gym. I'm an extreme extrovert. I like to get my fix with other people. So I'm not a person that has ever felt a type of depression, and being at home all day, every day, not being able to have my outlet, I use that as an excuse to not eat the way that I should, not work out the way that I should be, somehow found 15 pounds laying around somewhere and knew that I needed to get my butt back into shape because I wasn't happy with where I was at. So when the gym finally reopened, then we had the opportunity for the transformation. It was like, well, I'm not going to do the one if I'm not going to do the other. Like, I need to do them together right now. And it got us back to where we're at right now. And now we're both better than before the shutdown happened. So can't really ask for more than that.
That's awesome. So the last thing that I want to ask is the mindset portion of this program, because we focus on the nutrition aspect, we focus on the movement or the fitness aspect, and then there's also a mindset. What would you say within these last 5 weeks is a good takeaway for both of you, and something that, and once again, you can tell her as here's something that you can look forward to?
You want to speak on your mindset portion of it?
Yeah, Hannah actually hit the nail on the head there the other night when she was making dinner. She said that she was excited that we don't have to use condiments anymore for the flavoring. Like we can input other things to recipes to make them taste better, things that we might not have tried, 5 weeks ago. It's like, I'll just put ketchup on it, I'll just smother it in ranch. And now we have these recipes and she can play around and things taste better, and we don't need the extra calories and things like that. It's
I've gotten extremely creative.
Yes, that's the better word, creative.
If there is a craving, you can find some type of substitution that is going to be a better option for you. And it's only if you want to. Like, yes, you could eat the pizza, or you could get cauliflower crust and put a healthy cheese on it. That's a really bad analogy, and that's the first thing that came to my head because everybody craves pizza. But like, okay, ice cream. I have frozen Greek yogurt and I have little pods that I put it in. I put fruit inside it and you can blend it and it's almost like an ice cream. That is a great alternative if you need it or if you feel like you want it. So it's just a mindset of, do you actually need something, or do you want to continue seeing the progress that you have? Do you want to continue moving forward, or do you want to take a step back? If you take a step back, get back with it the next day. Mm-hmm. You can always move forward the next day too. So kind of like your Jedi mind tricks that you always do, you need to ask yourself, what do you want? You don't need to answer with what don't you want? because you already know what you don't want and you know exactly what you want, but it takes work and it takes commitment. So you would rather just tell somebody else what you don't want instead of like actually making it happen.
and get a good support system. Have somebody there with you that you can bounce off, ideas off of. And if you do stray, they're like, hey, let's get back. It's so much easier to do this. Like, I don't think I could have done this without Hannah. And hopefully vice versa. It makes it so much easier when you have somebody that has a common goal and you're both heading in the same direction. You can hold each other accountable and you both see the progress, and it's, we can keep doing this. Like, you look great. You look great. Let's just keep going and see what happens. It's just so much easier, if you have that accountability, if you have that person that has your back.
That's so true. Awesome. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Hey,
Thank you.
Any last things that you want to tell anybody watching right now?
If you have the opportunity to better yourself, you should always take that opportunity. Yes. You're going to be putting in the work for it, but the work is so worth it. Like, your body is going to thank you. You're going to thank yourself whenever you're looking in the mirror and you're enjoying what you're seeing, but you're also feeling good about it too. Like, you're going to have the energy. You're going to feel good about yourself mentally as much as you feel good about yourself physically, because just like the food, it's going to matter on what you put inside or how you feel inside rather than what's showing on the outside first.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I'll stop the recording here, but that's cool. Like, I appreciate hearing your journey, your transformation, and it's really cool that you guys lean on each other. I like your story because, like I was mentioning there earlier on, you've got two fit people. So a lot of times it's like, well, I already know what to do because I do it on a regular basis, or I do this professionally. But, I commend both of you guys for saying, hey, we're in this. Let's go for it. Let's see what's going to happen. And you guys have created ridiculously awesome transformations.
Yeah.
This whole thing made me feel like a bit of a novice. I'll be honest with you. Like, I didn't know anything.
But yeah, so what have you, like, what's a good takeaway for you? What have you learned that you're like, okay, moving forward, this is definitely going to be a staple?
One of the biggest things is, and I've used this analogy when people bring it up, like I was saying earlier, like I try to think of my body now as a train. In order to move the train, you have to give the train coal. So I eat at 1 o'clock when I wake up. 3 hours later, the train needs more coal. I'm going to eat again. Like, whereas before I'd eat and I'd skip 8 hours and I'd eat again, and my body would store that fat because we're going into starvation mode. Now that I'm eating every 3 hours, my body says, hey, I got to burn this off because we got more coming in. That was hard for me to understand because being that I used to be overweight, that's always in the back of my head. So every time I look in the mirror, it's like, man, I am not what I envisioned. Like, I don't feel comfortable taking my shirt off. Like, even now, even talking to you now, like, that's still a big thing for me that I deal with.
Can you send me, what was it that they called you in school?
Fat Bush.
Okay, can you send me one of those pictures? Because, like, in my head, that guy doesn't exist. So it's fascinating to hear you guys share that.
Oh yeah, we can definitely do that. That would be my biggest takeaway. It's okay to eat more as long as it's portioned. You can't, and don't inflate it. I eat to feed my body. I don't eat to get full, if that makes
But you're also giving your body clean meals as well. It's not like you're, I'm going to have a piece of pizza so that I can go to Burger King and get a burger because it's 3 more hours. Like, you need to be giving your body actual fuel that's going to ignite the fire inside you rather than put it out and put you to sleep and completely drain your entire body of everything.
That's awesome. I love the takeaways.
The thing last night about how your body requires 3 things, and somebody brought up, maybe it was you, brought up the sugars and how your body goes into like survival mode and it wants the candy, you know, and you can eat fruits and like that's me. Like that spoke directly to me. I'm like, I can eat this or I can eat that. It's not, I don't need the Crunch Bars.
Good. Yeah, it's I appreciate the feedback because it lets me know how well what I'm coaching and teaching is landing. So again, thank you for that, and I appreciate you guys being so involved. You know, Hannah, I shot you that message on Monday, and so many people, so many of us are watching, and we're scared to ask a question or make a comment because we don't want to look wrong.
Yeah.
So having you voice for other people, that's very powerful.
Like just like what I was saying before, like I am an extreme extrovert, and I am also, as sometimes it's not great, but I am very open. I am honest. I'm sometimes more blunt than I should be, but I am always going to speak my mind. And most of the time I'm very passionate about what I'm talking about. So I'm not going to reserve that because I want to share it with other people. And I can use my words for good and I can help somebody else. And that's all that I can really ask for.
And you're doing well. I appreciate it. So as we move along with the rest of this, it'll be done.